Welcome once again to the 2025 Tim Selinske U.S. Masters Championships presented by Innova. We are back here in Ruidoso, New Mexico, but we are changing venues to the Oso Canyon course. Back in the commentary booth once again, it is Felix, joined by
Conrad.
Big shout out to Infinite Disc for sponsoring this coverage. Conrad, we're switching venues, little different, but a lot of the same in terms of elevation on this course.
That's exactly what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of elevation. It may even look similar to the other course, but I promise you, this is a different venue.
It's going to be an endurance test for sure for these guys.
Oh, yeah. First on the card, again, shooting a 1029 rated first round is Cale Leiviska. We've heard about him, now we actually get to see him. Hey, it's Pete Ulibarri.
Pete tying the hot round during round one to be on the lead card. Our first look at Daniel Polk, 92 career wins to his credit already out of Minnesota. We've heard he's got a lot of game, excited to see it. And our pal, Paul Oman, Team Innova, 65 career wins, no stranger to the Masters division.
All right, here we go. Let's get into hole one here. It's a par 3 coming at 352 feet. We'll see a lot of different angles of attack here. You have this straight up the gut route, which isn't going to quite get you to the basket. There is a high hyzer route, but you're going to need a lot of power to do it, because even though this drone footage is slowly creeping, there is a good incline to this hill. Once you get to the green though, as long as you can hit middle, get inside the chains, you have a good chance of not rolling away.
Minnesota. Cale Leiviska.
Our buddy Taco doing the intros here at Oso Canyon. A little bit of a blustery start here, a little bit of wind to deal with for these guys starting on hole one.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that hole one was coming in and playing as the hardest hole of the day. So you
really
just off the rip, you're playing the most difficult hole. And we see Cale there, hits a tree, gets kicked to the left slightly. He'll still have some type of approach to save a par.
Pete Ulibarri, if you're thinking it, yes, he is related to Paul Ulibarri. It is his older brother.
And that looks like a purpose-put shot, right where you wanted it.
From Minnetonka, Minnesota. Danny Polk.
Got two Minnesota boys on the card today. Daniel Polk and Cale Leiviska, both out of the Twin Cities. Or close to it.
Oh, he's going with the high hyzer route here. Is he going to get over all the trees? He does. If that's not inside the circle, that's the circle's edge, but he's up there with the basket for sure. Right now, he's the only one that have a true look at a birdie. Everyone else is really going to have to pitch up with the trees that are guarding the green.
Little low, little left.
Ooh.
That's going to present a low ceiling approach for Paul. We'll see how he tackles that one here on this first opening hole.
Mm-hmm.
You can see there are quite a few guardings to deal with.
Yeah, you're going to have to decide if you're going over or under. Paul's going under. Ooh, but found the ceiling going under, so he'll have another. He may have a look. If not, it's another approach shot to get to the green.
Little zone over the top here for Cale.
Yep, that'll do.
In the circle. Disc is damaged.
Yep, for sure.
Like you saw with the previous course, Moon Mountain, a lot of rocks all across this course. Footing again, kind of tricky in some areas, so you want to put yourself as much flat ground as you can find.
Because you have rocks, and you have loose rocks, and you also have loose soil, so there's a lot of variables there when it comes to footing. Oh, just high left. That was a good bid, though.
It was.
All right, our only birdie look on the hole.
Whoa.
Not sure if that just fell out of his hand, stuck to his finger, or what happened there.
Yeah, it looked a little funky there. Pete, unfortunately, a little low as well. Putting from an elevation, dropping down.
Yeah.
Just left it a touch slow. Cale for par.
Oh. Okay.
He's going to re-putt. No. Cale does this every time. I film him. I'm like, does he
know he can't do this?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he's not doing it.
He's re-putting or he's re-teeing or he's always just goes through the motions, but aggressively, so it makes you think he's actually going to do it.
Mm-hmm. You almost want to say, no, this is a rated round. You can't.
Don't do
it. It's not casual. It's not casual.
A trio of bogeys on the first hole is not what I expected to see, but as you said, playing as the most difficult hole on the course.
Yeah.
And the hiking begins. Hiking up to hole 2, a par 3.
I think that's right,
149 feet. I'm looking at him like, is that right? Wow, okay. 149 feet up the hill the entire way. Trust us, it does not play as 149 feet. There's quite a severe grade going up this hill here. And you've got this protected green here with these shrubs to kind of knock down some late frisbees coming in towards the actual pin.
Yeah, those shrubs that surround the basket are diabolical.
249 feet. That's
okay,
what
249. All right. What are you talking about? That's what it said on the graphic.
Yeah, I got it backwards.
Yeah.
Weird. It's a cool camera angle here of Cale going right up the gut, getting some skip. And that's going to be a look for birdie.
Yeah. When I was looking at this hole, it was daunting for me just because of the shrubs are basically just outside of the bullseye, basically, It looks like.
That one drifting a bit right there on Pete.
And that's easy to happen when you're playing with this slope here. If you don't really commit to something getting back, it'll just stay out there. That looks good. Nice height.
Just needs to finish back over and does. A little short.
And see, those shrubs won't bother Paul. He'll just put right over them.
Yeah, there's not many low obstacles that are going to bother tall Paul. Pete got to work a little Anheuser turnover. That was smooth.
Yeah.
Pete also on Team Discraft. No surprise when your brother's the team captain.
So what are you trying to say?
That he earned his spot.
Okay, there you go.
Obviously. If you followed any of Pete's career, he is a Masters legend at this point. He plays a lot of events and he wins a lot of events.
Oh yeah, he's highly rated. They're
great putt.
Talk about the brother battle.
Oh,
although we know the Robinson brothers will take all of them down. Yeah, we said it.
Yeah, we said it. So Ulibarri, if you guys want the smoke, let us know whenever you want to set up the match. We can film it. Good putt there for Cale. Nicely done. A couple of birdies there. Nice bounce back for both Paul Oman and Cale. Erasing that bogey stroke. Par for Daniel there. And we'll have the same for Pete coming up here with just a drop in before we head on over to hole 3.
I've been really struggling with connection. Yes, connecting can be so difficult, especially in your case, as it's with an audience and not just one person.
Exactly.
Have you tried telling them about Infinite's inventory?
All the time. 100,000 discs.
Right.
Biggest online retailer.
Well, what if you told them something about yourself? Maybe a confession.
What do you mean?
Isn't it true that you faked the ace that you posted in that snow video recently?
I did, but what does that have to do with the whole connection? We got the confession. Lemonade. Hey, stop. Get him. What are you doing? Hey!
I love my jab.
All right, here we go. Hole 3 coming in as the third hardest hole on the course. They put them up front for a reason. All right, it is a par 3 coming in at 417 feet, and this right here is one of the only holes on the front that really plays kind of level. You're playing around the mountain and not necessarily up it, but you do need to get up and over these trees to really get to the basket if you're trying to get anything close to it too. If you find yourself short, you'll be in scramble mode trying to get there from anywhere else. Cale put that up. I'm not sure if that's high enough. It looks like it's floating and
doesn't quite get back over enough.
yeah.
Definitely needed the height to bring that back over to the left. Paul looks like he's got a driver in his hand as well. Go more inside line. Ooh.
A little tickle there. Still doesn't look like it's working his way over to the right either. So yeah, he'll be scrambling from there to get to the basket.
He's kind of in the landing zone. If you're not going for the actual pin itself, you kind of just want to throw a spike hyzer or a hyzer around the beginning of this hole to kind of put yourself in position for an easy approach.
Yeah, but when you look there, looking at where the disc is and where the basket is, there's still a lot of obstacles in the way.
There's also a mountain in the way.
A mountain of obstacles, you say?
Yes.
Oh, that one stays out to the right.
Yeah, that's drifting too far right. And that's probably the mistake you don't want to make. It'll feel like the right side is the more punishing side. Doesn't give you quite as many alleys as we see Pete here.
Ooh,
Yeah, there's an example.
Yeah.
Cale was even further right, but he moved up a little bit more. Bread and butter.
Yeah.
Those spinny approaches are just so fun to watch from Cale. And Paul giving that a bid, it looked like.
Yeah. He had to do a little dancing around that tree there, but he surely gave it enough to run it. Let's see what Pete has to do the same thing, right?
Yeah, you kind of got a backstop here. Because you have the upslope to catch your disc. That one just a little bit low. He'll have an unfortunate tap in left for bogey.
Okay, he's on the ground. I thought he was doing the Captain Morgan thing. But okay, he's on the knee. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, did that touch the limb?
It did. Knocked it down the line. Looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Paul with this line for his par kind of got a little further away from him than he would have liked.
You talking about? Oh, yeah. I was gonna say I thought he was about to ring it up. That's why I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
But, you know.
Cale with a nice par scramble from where he was. Really out of position on that right side.
Yeah. I mean, now you can see why this plays third hardest hole. There's not a lot of people getting twos here.
No.
So you're taking pars or higher.
Yeah. It's a pretty aggressive hyzer. You need a lot of finish on it, but then you finish too early, then you end up early left.
Mm-hmm. The rest of the guys here tapping in.
Before we
bogeys or
make
pars. Oh my gosh, this
one of the
walk up this
worst
hill.
walks on this course
Oh my
right here,
gosh.
from threes basket to fours tee. And here we are magically as if nothing happened on hole 4. Par 3, 278 feet, side slope and upslope to deal with this. As you can see, right to left, running away from the green itself. Players can either opt to go up the gut here with something neutral to understable, keeping them on a straight line for as long as possible. There's a forehand line. There's also a little bit of a sneaky hyzer line up the right-hand side. But when your disc finishes back over from right to left, you can easily find yourself at 40, 50 feet away from this pin.
Yeah, this is where distance control plus the accuracy needs to come into play. And
Cale almost
I don't know what
beat
happened
those
there.
last trees.
I lost it.
Yeah,
Still don't know exactly where it is.
hit one of those late bushy trees there. I like the idea. There looked like buzz for Cale. Daniel just gets clipped up in that low stuff there.
Yeah. You can see that they're trying to drag it over to the right and let it finish to the left naturally.
Better height.
Something like that.
Yeah.
At least that guy up top, so he'll have a clean look at the basket, not really obstructed.
Boy, not a single forehand. That's a little surprising. I mean, I know Cale and Paul don't necessarily throw forehands. Hopefully that's set.
Yeah, that's the side that you don't want to be on.
Yeah. Quite a bit of work left still here for Pete.
Mm-hmm. All right. What are you talking about? It makes easy work of that.
Yeah, very nicely done. That was a higher technical difficulty shot than it appeared on camera. See just the weird angles that this course presents you with, and we're only 4 holes in.
Nice, perfect upshot there. Hit the pole, stays under the basket.
Paul, only one with a birdie look here.
Oh,
Yes.
sneaks it in.
Making the connection from circle's edge. Very nicely done there by Paul Oman for the birdie, the only birdie on this card.
Yeah, I'm saying that this hole was right in the middle of the pack as far as difficulty. And again, you probably won't see a lot of 2s there. If you're slightly off, you'll end up like the rest of the card. But if you can nail it, you'll end up like Paul.
Yeah, even Paul had to make a putt.
Yeah.
It wasn't a gimme. And a veteran move there, using the other putter to not have to take one out of his own bag. So smooth.
That is legal. That is legal. All right. The hike up is not done yet. We're on hole 5 of par 4, coming in at 540 feet. Most players want to take this hyzer route out around these trees, not over this tee pad, but land in this general area here, so that you can then slowly approach, continue going uphill, slowly approach the basket. You have a few guardians right there framing up the basket, but if you can get around them, the green isn't as terrifying as some of the others. It does look to be a little bit of trouble on the right side, though. Ooh.
A lot of angle, a lot of height.
Okay.
Pretty ideal zone there. That's about where you want to be.
That is the landing zone, yeah. From the tee pad, I didn't realize that the angle was that aggressive to get around. There is another route to go up inside, but if you hit something early, it really isn't beneficial.
Yeah.
So just take the risk out. Going around makes it a smarter play.
Cale got knocked down a little right. Daniel going wider hyzer, letting that glide bring it back over. That's fantastic.
Yes. Oh yeah, Cale got clipped mid-flight.
He did on the right side.
Yeah.
Pete, a little more neutral of a disc, getting a subtle flip up, but still gliding back left and in the middle.
Landing zone. You have to trust us when we say that's the landing zone. I know it looks like everything else, but that is where you would be aiming for.
Cale off to the right here. Has to get around these last sets of late trees. Loses his footing. He's okay, though. Didn't quite get all the way back over left.
No, I'm not sure if he'll have a clean look at the basket from there either.
Yeah.
But at least he should be able to save a par. Paul going low here.
Trying to get some skip.
Skip is always a risky thing out here because you don't know if you're going to hit a rock, a pine cone, a
mountain,
one of those, the grass in the dead spot. There's just so much.
Oh, that gets knocked down.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get around that last guardian there. Daniel pretty much centered here.
Yeah, he has the cleanest look at the basket, or getting to the green anyway.
Subtle turnover. Maybe turned a touch too much, but stays up there. Not quite the line he was looking for, but it worked.
And here's Cale.
Yeah, just having to pitch up, unfortunately, there.
That's not a bad. He's going to take par for being out of position twice, so that's not too terrible. Looks like Pete was actually trying to get that one in. Managed to keep it close to the basket, though.
For birdie here.
Oh.
A little high.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be high, but...
You want to aim, that's one of those where you're aiming high because it's going uphill and you just maybe aimed a touch too high. Good cleanup for the par.
See, it's not as much uphill to Paul as it is the rest of us.
That's true.
You know, I think he may just miscalculated.
He putted like a medium-sized person there instead of a tall person. Great birdie.
Bird.
Very nicely done. 11 down now for Daniel. Not quite the red-hot start that you would expect from the lead card. We've got some people making some noise on some of the earlier cards, and these guys right now, just one down is your hot round so far on this card.
We're Dirty Birdie, and we make disc golf accessories that are just freaking nice.
Because we're people just like you, and we like when things just make sense.
Like our towel, which doesn't drag on the ground. That's why we put the grommet in the middle. You're supposed to put the ground on your towel, not the towel on the ground.
Or our metal mini. It's like every other mini, but metal. Like a metal credit card. Nice.
And our main product, the Holy Grail, bird sauce. Imagine if chalk was easy to apply, lasted way longer, was smaller, easier to store, didn't get everywhere. Oh, and it works way better than normal chalk.
Yep, that's us. Just clip, squeeze, rub, and throw with impeccable grip for the next 9 holes while your hands stay perfectly grippy.
So get saucy with Dirty Birdie. We can say that, right?
I don't think that they would misconstrue what we're trying to say there.
Big shout out to Dirty Birdie for helping to support this coverage. Moving on to hole 6, par 3, 342 feet. This is a tough one. The trees lining the left and right hand side of the fairway. Relatively flat hole though after hiking all the way to get up to this pin. They're just going to move slowly left to right. There is an over the top line, or so I've heard. There's also like a sneaky hyzer line up the right side. But the drone is taking the more traditional line, which is just up the gut with a slow fade back to the right hand side. Is that going to beat that last one? Does not.
No, had to just about the right line.
Paul looks like he's lining up a similar line, or is he going? No, he's going over the top play.
I can't tell yet. Yep, over the top. So we'll see when that comes. Okay.
When did that get so high? Oh my goodness!
But that right
shot.
there is obviously the play. You said you heard about the hyzer play. That's the hyzer play. That's the play there.
That's the one. Well, you got to conserve the magic that I wasn't really there when it happened. So. Cale also going over the top. But
that looks. I hope that's stable because it looked turned out of the hand and it stays over there.
Yeah. It's I don't know how far over there. It's like a wasteland and it drops down to the right pretty drastically the further you go right, and that one gets clipped early for Pete. So
yeah.
We'll have to end up and see where Cale actually ended up.
So we got a couple of folks in scramble mode here, but that's one of the things that I say about this division is that they're crafty.
Yes.
So
there's no shot they haven't seen.
Except for that one.
Yeah. Pete with an abbreviated follow through, keeping away from that tree.
That's a great shot for having to do what he had to do.
Absolutely.
Like the rest of us would have short armed it, but it wouldn't have turned out well.
No. And you're getting a disc to turn at elevation, which is already hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Cale weighing the options here. Not many, unfortunately, where he is.
So he's trying to continue going up and over, and
Plink goes down.
I don't know if you heard how many limbs he hit coming down, but he hit all of them.
Yeah. Daniel with a nice, easy, floaty approach to put himself inside the circle for his par.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if Pete can capitalize on that good scramble. He does. Yes. Solid putt there for Ulibarri.
Whoa, watch your step.
Yeah. This ground will get you.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you think it's over.
Well, he was trying to dodge the disc. We blame the other players. It's their fault.
Another fantastic scramble there.
When you're out of position and you know you're not going to get to 2, you're trying to do everything you can to at least maintain that par.
Yeah. And that's not a given on any of these holes out here. Well, maybe a couple, but
I don't think so. But okay.
I think the back nine's got some where you can make a mistake and still pretty safely save the par.
Okay, maybe. All right, hole 7. One of the easier holes on the course, only coming in at 299 feet. It is a par 3. You see it right there. This hole is tricky. It's framed up, and it's about the same elevation as the tee pad, but the walk itself is not. So the walk itself is part of the difficulty in this hole, because when you get up to the basket, you're going to be out of breath. So you're going to have to take a moment to actually get yourself focused and actually make this putt. But there is a nice backstop there. I would love to see a couple of ace runs here.
Tall Paul has the honor still. Just left of the pin there. Beautiful shot.
Oh man, I was waiting to hear if you heard me huffing when you switched to my camera, and you can.
Slightly. I dropped a lot of your audio on the first drive there. Great shot there. This is one of the worst walks.
It is. It's one of the easier holes.
Yeah. But you go down.
You go down.
Back up.
Well, no, you go down across.
Yeah.
Down again.
And then
across and then back up. Yeah.
And then the walk from 7 to 8. Maybe one of the worst things you experience in life.
That one dropped, but
it did. It still gives him a look, though. He's
going to have some elevation
edge
to deal with, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the basket is well above his head here. He may as well be.
Got that wind to deal with as well.
Whoa, yeah.
The flag is not moving. You can see there's clearly wind. Good effort there.
Yeah.
Cale looking to capitalize on his drive to get this birdie.
Yeah.
Nicely done. That gets him to under par on the day and 12 down overall. At this point, I don't know if they were checking scores. I was looking at the scores, and Papa Nate Sexton making a charge at this point. He was something like 7 or 8 down already through 13. One of the earlier cards. So some of the lower cards making some noise, and a couple other names also were shooting up the leaderboard at this point.
Yep.
Paul closest of the bunch for birdie. Gets it.
There you go. Yeah, when you look at the holes, I mean, if you can execute whatever your plan is to get birdie, it's possible. And then having to switch gears to get par if you need to is necessary.
This is kind of one of those holes. Hole 8, par 3, 352 feet. The drone is taking the left-hand side. There's also a right-hand hyzer side that kind of sweeps your disc back over naturally, taking advantage of gravity and bringing it back over to the left-hand side. If you go up this gap here, the drone is taking, it's more of a neutral flying mid to fairway driver, or maybe a flex forehand finishing back towards the pin there. But to access it either way, you need an executed perfect shot basically, because there's just no fluky way to get to the pin on this one.
Yeah. And it's always very confusing. I haven't had anyone give me a good explanation as to why the Mando... The guy said there used to be 3 Mandos, all on the left, that you had to go to the right of. I'm like, no one wants to go that way.
Right.
Why do you have to put a Mando? But yeah, that right there is the line. And
sit down.
Yeah.
Very good shot.
He needs to thank that rock. He doesn't even know he needs to thank that rock.
Yeah. And so far, the first 3 tee shots all looking to execute that same hyzer line. That one needs to turn a little more, I think. Yeah, didn't quite get it over on edge enough to drift over past that last bit of trees.
Yeah. And this is a tricky shot, too. You got to throw over the hill, but you also got to control the speed as it's coming down.
Sit. Sit. Okay. There is OB weight left.
That's a nice recovery if it settles.
Right at circle's edge.
Yep.
Nice hoverboard action there. It's circle's edge, and it's going to feel like 43, 45 because of the elevation.
And you found some tree. And like this isn't a course. None of these courses are really courses to try to be a superhero with your shots. Like if you're off, you just need to take the medicine and not make it any worse.
Yeah. Got to point out this is also one of the most beautiful views on the course here, hole 8. Mm-hmm. Get all these mountains in the background. Oh man, good bit just off the band there. Ball with a similar putt.
Here's for par.
Good.
He gets it.
Good hit there for Oman.
I'm not sure if I was looking at him putt or the background. I'm not sure which one I was paying attention to. He was able to save his. He wasn't sure if it was saved or not, but
Couple tap-ins left here for
It's a bogey and a par.
bogey and par, correct. One hole left on the front nine here, and then we start to slowly work our way down the mountain.
No. 9 does work us down the mountain. You'll see.
Oh, will I?
Yeah. All right, here we go. Rounding out the front 9 with hole 9, a par 4 coming in at 528 feet. And just as the drone is difficult to show you the elevation going up, this right here is a steep elevation going down. It is at 528 feet, but it's not going to play that much because if you can get it up high and out to the right, you can actually come crashing in to the green. So it is possible to get here in one. Possible to get not a birdie. What's
The eagle.
The eagle,
Possible
that's the
eagle
one.
look.
Yeah, eagle look.
We hope you guys appreciated that drone flight because nobody's going to take that line.
No.
There's a window there to the right, and these guys are looking to crash a hyzer around everything and eventually find Earth.
He's in circle 2 with a long look.
Mm-hmm. Daniel looking to do the same.
I guess because I didn't play the course, I didn't see that that window up there. Okay.
Also about circle 2-ish.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes a lot of the Plinko effect out of it, going down the middle.
Yeah. Well, going down the middle, I'll say is,
that wasn't
early
high
tree.
enough.
Going down the middle is a truly more difficult shot because, one, you're playing with the elevation going down. You need to keep something that's straight, and keeping something that straight for that long at this elevation just really isn't plausible. That right there is a way easier shot to execute and end up in the middle.
Yeah. Cale off and to the right here. He's looking to punch something back over and get some skip.
Oh,
And does
no
not.
skip. Yep, that's the little bushy stuff that you have to try to avoid. When you're
Is that
trying to do some
tumbleweeds? Is that
gravel
what tumbleweeds are?
No, because they're not moving.
Yeah, I know, but do those become tumbleweeds when they get dry? Are those it? If you know in the comments, let us know because we haven't seen any tumbleweeds out here since we've been here. I don't know if it's tumbleweed season, if there is such a thing, or when that happens.
Yeah, I don't even know what area of the country that applies to. I don't even know if that applies to New Mexico. Or is it any desert
I would think so.
kind of dry? I'm surprised that they have wild animals out here because I don't know what they eat on. There's not enough greenery for
Vegetation for them to munch on.
Yeah. But we see them. We've seen the elk and
Oh,
seen
lots.
the wild horse. And that's why they were hanging out at the golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that grass. Paul running this.
Ooh, good run, too.
Just for you guys. Paul, always a showman.
Is this for his birdie?
It is.
Yes.
And he connects.
Easy peasy. That's all you had to do.
Cale for the par. Knocks it home.
Not a bad recovery for hitting that early tree.
Yeah. You didn't see it because I edited it out, but he also stepped up to the tee again and looked like he was going to re-tee, so I thought he was re-teeing.
I saw it too. I saw it. I'm like, wait, what's happening? Did he go? I thought, first I'm like, is there OB over there? I thought he went OB and he was just about to re-tee, but
He got me again.
he was working that angle. He wanted to correct the angle. You know how it is sometimes.
Absolutely.
taking a look at our players here, we see a little bit of red, a little bit of green. We see Polk is the only one that's kept it clean so far, but Paul Oman has tied them there as they work up. And there we see Nate Sexton. He's through 15 and 15 down. He's making a charge.
Yeah, a lot of names that you see there kind of making their way up the leaderboard, so literally anything can happen on this back nine coming up here. Make sure to check us out on all of our socials at Ace Run Pro. And make sure you head on back this way to catch the back nine here of round 2 before we go back to Moon Mountain for moving day. A lot more fun disc golf coming your way here from New Mexico. Mountain disc golf at its finest. Get your oxygen can, get your water, stay hydrated, and join us back here for 9 more holes. We'll see you there.